Hello, it is Lord Hayward. I am streaming some 2D4X today, like I do on most weekends. What is going on over here? 2D4X is a strategy game I'm working on. It's open source. Godot. Where are my buttons? This button is here. I guess the other button is already working. Come on, buttons. This is for my chat. There it goes. Um, Open source, made with Godot. 4.5, I think we're on. Yeah, we're on 4.5. Everything's very quiet. That's what I forgot. I forgot to turn on my music that you guys cannot hear. Um, what was I gonna say? So we're gonna work on some more battle stuff today, and I was thinking about it before. Like this past week, I've been thinking about this game a lot. And so what we're gonna do is now my music has started and it's deafening. I think that the main issue that we're having here with figuring out what's going on is this battle control has this battle log, and as the battle continues it gets kind of useless because it's too much information, and I think we'll leave it here, but what we'll do is we're going to expand. We're going to put a whole other panel that goes like this. It will be right here in the middle, and what we'll do with that is we'll have a list of the combatants, and we're going to kind of change around everything we wrote the past couple of weeks. We're going to rewrite, and we're going to do it. I was playing some other game, or I was looking up something. I was reading something about some Paradox game, and it said, oh, well, the morale is based on the dead people are included in the morale as well. And I was like, oh, shit, that's how I should be doing this. So currently I was taking the dead people out of the list for checking morale if your army runs away, but then that kind of benefits people to die, because then, like, if they had low morale and they died, which they probably would because they've been getting shot at, so we'll make it so the more people that die, the higher chance that the army runs away, especially at the beginning, while you have untrained troops. We're gonna, they're untrained. The minute someone croaks, they get blown apart. That's gonna affect everyone running away. So that's what we're gonna do here. There's also a bug that came up with the tooltip, but this might have been here last stream, at the end of last stream. I can't remember. So we're gonna fix that hopefully, but we're gonna do this panel first. That's gonna be the first goal here. That's what this bug is. I already put a bunch of stuff in and did a little testing on it here in my project. And it dawned on me I wanted the camera to move over the player's capital, which would be right here when you start the game. So that's something we'll do too. This is all based on how much time we had. But the main thing we're going to work on right now is a list of all the combatants in the combat control, or in the battle control. So I don't know where combat control came from. So let's deal with that first. We can stop this thing. Because that's also going to be more fun to write. Where the hell is this battle control? I see diplomacy control. Battle log control? Is that what we called this? And then we called this battle? No, that's the battle log control. I guess that's what is the battle control then? I think that battle control is that little, the battle log control, I guess, is the thing we're going to be messing with. So yeah, it is. So we're going to add a thing to the top. It's going to start out open, but you'll be able to minimize it. I think that will have to be a requirement because some people may want to look around. Oh, I guess I stopped it. Of course I did. So it's a battle log control that we're going to be messing with. Yeah, let's look at this code. I'm actually glad that it's not the battle control, because the battle control has a bunch of shit in it. We moved some of it, and I think we'll move more of it out. There's also some other things I saw that I had, like a bool, that it's kind of dumb. We're going to change how, like, in all enums we have those activities. We'll set up some different activities. Maybe we'll do like sub activities. like activity combat, and then maybe we can figure out some sort of sub activity. I don't know. We're going to change around a lot of stuff that we already wrote. This is what happens when you go into making a very complicated video game and you have no plan. Don't recommend it. No, I do kind of recommend it because I've been learning so much shit over the years here. And I am definitely going to hire a new or a second person temporarily, just a freelancer to do 2 different people probably. Graphics and help me out with the coding for as much money as I've put aside to do it. But I don't know what to do. If I should post that on Reddit, I should probably post on my Discord first and see what people think, what their suggestions are, and then from there post on wherever, Reddit or something. I don't want to use like Fiverr or one of those things. It's such a pain, and the people are not very good. But that would be like the cheapest way to do it. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out, and I need to figure it out soon. So let's go, and we got to add some stuff to this. So this, we're gonna need a. It looks like, what do we got in here? Margin container. Is this margin container forcing everything down there? The other thing I was thinking about, like, this is back to the. I guess we are gonna play this. This is back to the hiring a artist. Is I don't. Oh well, this is open, but I guess that works. When we have stuff like this, we're gonna need to have graphics on here, and I don't understand how it's gonna work when you expand stuff. Or more, less expanding makes sense to me more, but let's say you had a smaller. Well, actually, expanding doesn't. So let's look at here. I'm trying to think of a way to explain what my question is. So like on this thing, this is a set size, but let's say you have a smaller monitor. You can't have this be the same size all the time because it takes up too much screen real estate. I assume you wouldn't have that small of a monitor, but if you know what I mean, like, so how do you make this? And if this expands, let's say you want, like, are these always a set size? And like this needs to expand so the width is always the same size, and then how do you expand the lines without stretching it? If you stretch it, it's gonna fuck everything up. I don't know. That's what I got to figure out. Too. I should probably spend a couple of streams doing that, figuring out how that works. Watch some tutorials or something. I haven't watched a tutorial in a long time. Is this the same bug? Oh, no. See, even this is unreliable because we're turning off the camera controls. We can get rid of this. This is some old. We're turning off the camera controls so that you can't move the thing around, and it's already not that reliable when you're. We're gonna have to fix that too. There's a lot of stuff to fix, and the more we work on this, the more things are to fix. Anyways, what is this thing doing? Yeah, so it looks like we're putting 800. We're pushing this down with the margin control. So I think there's probably a different way we'd want to do that. What if we put this thing up here? And what we'd probably want to do, well, everything else, there's another margin control in here. What if that's not going to do us any good. All right, so let's put in, we're going to need a couple of panels. We're going to need 2 well, we'll need a box and then like a panel and a whole lot of things here to get this right. So let's do that, and then we'll work with the expanding and all that. So I know I can see why I did this. We have to keep it from the edge. So let's put this margin container back. I think it's 300 on each side. I put 301 for some reason. So that we need. This top thing we don't need anymore. Yeah, we might want to see this top bar, so we might need that. I think that's 26. I think that's going from memory there. So this needs to be inside this though. Yeah. Oh, it's not 26. It's something else. How tall is this thing? 31. Okay. 32. There we go. So this, we're gonna need another. Now we'll do it inside this. No, we're gonna add a panel container. I think that's on top of all of this. See that how it like grays twice though. Then in. So this panel container will. We're also need some scroll stuff. I just got to think through how this is going to work. So this is going to be a big panel container. Inside that panel container, we're going to have a panel container. And then we're also going to have an H box. And then in this, why do you got to always go to the bottom? Inside, now we're going to need a V box. Yeah, we're going to need a V box. You always need V boxes and H boxes. We're going to rename this panel container. So we're going to need a V box that has an H box in it, and then it has a panel container in it. This should be above it. It is. We're going to rename this to all panel container. And then this V box, H box, we're going to need a panel container. We're going to need a panel container. Fuck you. Okay, so we have two panel containers. And this is going to be left panel container, I hope. And this is going to be right panel container. Okay. So we're going to have those. And then look at this closed thing. It's just attached to that other panel container. So we should probably, well, we'll leave it there for now. So inside this panel container, see, we don't want to set it. Well, what we can do is we can set the width of these two to expand. Where are we here? Layout. We want it horizontally to expand. Actually, and if we expand vertically, inside this, we're going to add a scroll, horizontal scroll, and we'll duplicate that and put this one in here. We're going to need a title. So we're going to add a label, which probably means we're going to need an H box in here. Would you fuck off with going to the bottom? This one's in the wrong spot. It's going to go here, and we're just going to temporarily put in, because we're going to put it in the translation thing. We're going to put in combatants, and this is like behind something. You see how it's like grayish? These other things are on top of it. So we need to put that in the here. Whoops. Where the fuck did it go? I like accidentally clicked while I was dragging there. It just says label. It's gone. Here it is. It's kind of in the right spot. But we need it on top. I think we got too many. I think it should go here. It should. No, it shouldn't. It should go there. And then we got to center it, and we got to center it. And then look how big this one is. What's this one's? Attacker label. Oh yeah, we can get rid of some of this stuff. Some of this stuff can go. Here we go. What is this thing's deal? We'll just duplicate this, and then we'll put this one up here, and we'll call this combatants. And I bet you, look, it's not, is it bold? It is bold. We'll delete this one, and we'll go, combatants. And then I bet you this, yeah, this isn't translated either. So let's fix both of those. So that is under our localization, which I cannot remember where exactly that is. So we will go in here. Oh, we can't open it through there though. Gotta go over here. And we're gonna put text. And then we get blinded. And then we get blinded some more. What battle log? We put it in here. Whoops, God, motherfucker. This is my most hated, part of Excel is that if you accidentally click on these lines, it jumps to the top or the bottom. All right, battle log. And then combatants would be a word. Is that how you spell combatants? Let's just double check. My spelling abilities are quite shitty. All right, it is. So we're gonna need to add a word. Hey, let's try to use this thing. If we click on that, no, see, just fuck that. I don't know who came up with that idea. Oh my God. I don't know who came up with that idea for that control, but it sucks my balls. Word combatants. Combatants. Okay, I'm just making sure. It just seems like it's spelled wrong to me. We are not in here for some reason. Where's our translate button? Oh, it was there. And for some reason I have this gigantic. The hell was I doing that I needed this so gigantic? Okay. Word combatants. Then we'll go back over here. There we go. It always adds that extra line. What is this? Dot. Oh, did I do vertical? Horizontal scroll bar. Delete. Add. We're gonna go here. And we're gonna call this one right. I hope this is right. And we'll go, looks like that's right. And go left. Yeah, this should not be on the bottom though. I think that comes with one on the bottom. We're not gonna have that. We'll have it wrap or whatever. It's just gonna be their names. Actually, it's not gonna be their names. We're gonna have 3 things in here. But we need these things to expand. Vertical fill. We need it to fill this one. Fill. You are filling. This H box. Fill. There we go. This is what we want. Except we want the battle log to not be smushed Let's think about this too from the when we minimize. This will get minimized. That's not going to work. So we're going to need, yeah, we're going to need to do this different. We're going to need to have two different panels, containers. We kind of do, but we don't. All panel container. All panel container. So I think what we actually, no, we do need a panel container. I was going to say we need a panel, but no. This, we're going to have a lot of panel containers here. We're going to go through and delete a bunch of shit after this. So this panel container, come on, fingers. This is currently over everything. So this one, we'll say combatant panel container. Then this other thing, though, needs to be outside of it. And then we need the we need to redo a bunch of shit. Sometimes it's easier just to start from scratch, honestly, when you're doing UI shit. So this is the battle log panel container. And it's inside this other one. We don't want it inside this other one. Now it's gone. And what we need instead here is a VBox. We're going to kind of butcher this and then rebuild it here. So there's going to be a VBox in here. There's going to be this in here. And then this one is also going to be in this VBox. There we go. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to tell this thing to be at the bottom. And then it's not working. This is kind of, the size is correct. The size is correct. But we need this to move to the bottom. So this VBox, we want it to, it's already set to fill, that's right. This panel container, we want it to fill and fill. Okay. He's Beanless. How's it going? I'm working on a strategy game. Right now I'm setting up, like, we had a, basically there's like a battle control where it gives you text of what is happening in a battle. And, it's kind of confusing for the player of what's going on. So I'm going to make a list of each combatant. The number of people fighting is quite low. So it'd be like between like 5 or 10 people on each side. So I'm going to make a list of each side. And that way it will be easier for the player to tell. And because of that, it'll also be easier for me to fix the issues. So there'll be a right side will be the attackers and the defenders. We actually we'll need a title in there to say what's going on. I think the defenders should probably be on the right and the attackers on the left. Now that I think about it, attackers left, defenders, and then we'll put a title in here too. But yeah, it's inspired by like Dominions and Paradox games like CK3 and stuff. It's not turn-based. Dominions is turn-based. But right now we're just working on getting this. I had just a log of like combat where like people were getting shot or whatever, and it was too much information. I think it needed to be represented in a different way. And so we're not going to put like if the person's getting shot. It's just going to be like if they're dead or not. Or run away if they've fled. Okay, so we have our margin container. This is both of those. We need to make this battle log. We need a minimum size. I don't remember what the minimum size was before. Let's say 300. That looks fine. But we need to stick it to the bottom. And this thing doesn't seem to be listening to me. Oh, there we go. It is listening to me. Okay, so then why is this? We need to stick this one to the top. This one needs to be stuck to the top, which is not going to be until... What happens when we make this go away? That's actually what we want it to do when it goes away. There's like some sort of lag going on. It's weird. This will be all V-Box. Let's see here. So this thing, we need this to expand out. Usually it is shrink center, but that is definitely not expanding. So we need to figure out what is not expanding here. That's on fill. The title we don't want to expand. You're on expand. So even with nothing in there, it should still expand. Maybe it's our scroll things that need to expand. No? Fill for that should probably be fill for these ones. Fill. Yeah. But we'll get to the fix of one of these things just needs to be expanded. It might be because it's a panel container and not shrink center. Did nothing. Nothing. Not that one. Should bring it. So this is the thing that's to. Here we go. There we go. We were one away. So that kind of looks like this is over the top of this other thing. We need it to be inside. So this one should be both because it has both. This one is inside of it. Okay, so then if we hide this, what happens? Okay, that's bad. We want you to stick to the bottom when we hide this. And I've already clicked that like 4 times, so. Because we're going to minimize this. We're going to make this so that, oh, this is also not quite working. Look at this scroll thing. We're going to turn that off. The horizontal scroll is on. Okay, we'll get back to that. So this is a V-Box so that we can have the title in there. These are expanded. This is right. That's right. This is right, but we need to set it to the bottom. Because it's being held down here at the bottom because these are expanded. But we need to anchor it at the bottom. Wonder if we put shrink to... No. We need... I don't want to put it, just type in the transform because then we're back to that issue I was talking about earlier where if you change the screen size, shit's all fucked up. What? Shrink to end. I wonder if we need to put something else in there to wedge it open. That would suck if that's what we have to do. Margin control. What is this margin control doing? I bet you that has, yeah, okay, so that's in, okay, so I did this not necessarily wrong, but differently than I would do it now. Because this is pretty old. Let's So what I would do now is do an H box. And this would go here. This would go in here. Sorry, this should be a V box. I don't know why I keep doing that today. And we'll say V box. And then this no longer needs to be, because we used to have two sides and it would show, but then the lines would get all whack and you wouldn't be able to tell. So now we actually only have one side, and it looks like the right panel is the one we're not using. So let's just delete the right panel and hope that that doesn't fuck everything up. I think we had some things like connected. This is no longer called. This is just going to be a battle. Or we'll just call it log. This is just battle log title. Oh, this isn't even used. Yeah, this isn't even used. So we can delete that thing. And so this margin container is no longer necessary. We're going to put it right here. We're going to delete this margin container. This was, I guess it was covered. It was so this button isn't covered up, but we can do it a different way. Nothing's inside that. So what we can do, is this inside the V box? It is not. We can do this. And then we're going to push it to the bottom. So we have the title. This needs to be set on expand. Man, when I first started fucking with the UI, it was a nightmare. This is no longer left. This is just log. Then we have a scroll container, which is what we want. This is the logs VBox. It's going to put things inside there. Put the... What is this thing doing? I don't know. It's closed. Let's close, delete it. Okay, so then this is its own little button. I have a feeling there's something wrong here. No, that looks right. Log. Okay, so this thing's now been fixed, but we still need to anchor it to the bottom for when we close this. When we close this, so we need this to stick to the bottom, and I can't remember how to do that. Container sizing, it feels like you should be able to do that, but probably what's happening... No, that is the right size. That's the right size. Maybe if we put you, there we go. Okay, so the battle log will stick down there. And then we're gonna need like a button or something to expand that other thing. This is still gray in the background too. So what is this thing? This is making the gray. We gotta make this not gray. We want to make it clear, 100% clear. There we go. And then there's a button on here. We're going to leave that there for now because I kind of wanted them not to be able to click through this. Well, no, and we wanted to ignore clicks. I got to change the music that you guys can't hear because it is bad. I don't even know what it is, but I don't like it. Okay, so that is stuck to the bottom. Then we open this, and that's stuck to the bottom. So we need to have this also... It is on expand. This isn't, we're back to this bullshit. We might have to put something. No, we have something inside here. We need something to push that open, basically. They're all on fill. So when you open this up, we need it to fill. It seems like this should. Actually, it seems like this should be the one that pushes it open. Because we want it to fill this whole thing, even if there's nothing in there. Okay, so this thing, though, we have shrink to end. But if we put this back, this thing's gonna go to the top. So that's our problem. So this one was where we put it shrink to end. Okay. So we need this to fill, but we need this thing to go to the bottom. And that has no effect on anything. And then my music just stopped for no apparent reason. I don't know why that worked. Now we have a big gap. What's the big gap from? There's no maximum size in this. So you can't put in like a maximum size. So this can't, it's supposed to, there's something else. We're almost there though. This is when you do UI stuff, you're always like clicking around doing weird shit. Not weird shit, but waiting, trying to find what is holding your life up. Okay, so this is the right size. Why aren't you expanding all the way down to here? There's something else in the way, but we can't see it right now. I gotta click until I find it, but all these seem right. So why wouldn't you? You're shrinking as far as you can go, but expanded here. And the reason why it doesn't smush is because there's a minimum size. But that works for this one. But it's not going to work if the screen shrinks. So we can't put a minimum size on this one because if the screen shrinks, it would overlap and it'd be all fucked up. So that's right there. This one is holding the sides in. That one's right. Sometimes like you go away and you come back and it actually fixes itself. So this is the one that's stuck. It needs to expand more. What is keeping it from expanding more? There's like something behind it. Let's turn this off so we can see what we're interacting with here. This V-Box should... Yeah, that one should expand. So it seems like this one's the problem. This is the joys of... and that one's right. This line here is the screen. This is the camera or something. I don't remember what this purple one is. I'd have to click through a bunch of crap to figure that one out. I wonder if there's something it's remembering some other... Like this panel's remembering something. It's definitely stuck here, though. Let's go all the way to the top. No, we just did that. This is fine. 300 top. Okay, that's correct. This is completely the whole thing. That's right. You know, we probably could get rid of this panel container and just go with this V-box. We don't need this one. Too many panel containers in there. V-boxes is the way that I do everything, pretty much. I'm wondering if, like, one of these transforms is stuck. No. Like I said, sometimes it's easier just to blow up everything and go back. So this is the V-box container. These are the same. And that should fill. This we want to expand to, but it should. What is holding it up here? It could be. No, it makes it okay. It's got to be something with his battle control then, right? There's something above it that's holding it in. What the fuck? This makes no sense. Like I said, this would not be the first time this has happened though. And then like you'll recreate it in exactly the same, and it will work correctly. Because it's remembering something that it shouldn't. And I wish I could reset it. I'm trying to think. I did do that at some point. Let's put. Look how this one's darker gray than the other one. Than this one. Okay, let's turn off the vertical thing while we're here. Scroll bar. Because that's what. Wait, is that what this is? I put in the vertical only. I don't think. What is this? I wonder what happens if we run it. I'm almost out of coffee. If it'll dislodge itself. It did not dislodge itself, but that actually kind of looks like what we want. Kind of. I wonder if we close Godot and we reopen it, what will happen? This could be a bug. At this point, I've done so much. It doesn't look like it. There's so much UI stuff, though, that I feel like I have experienced its weirdness is enough. So, like, this should definitely expand down to here. This is on expand. Let's do this. So we have this, we have this. The battle log you would think might be wedging it too small, but it's not. There's nothing in between. Is there something? Yeah, these are all unrelated. Pause control? No. Top control? Is there anything else weird it's got to have the little eyeball, the counties thing, but that's a That's a thing that's not going to be the problem. Everything else is turned off. So let's do this. Let's duplicate it. And what we will do is we're going to start a new battle control. Do we need a battle control, or can we can do it with a margin container? Actually, we could even take this margin container out because it has its own control right here. So let's put this margin container out of this thing. Let's hide this one. This does have its own thing. Usually I use controls. Well, I say usually, half the time I use controls. Let's delete this duplicate. I thought I was on an idea there, but it was not. So if we did this, battle log margin container, we're going to have to redo this whole thing from scratch. That's what's going to happen. I wonder if I should leave that control in there. So what is this thing not expanding? It seems like it's this that's the problem, that it hasn't reset its size. What is this crap? What if we put like 800 and then we reset this back? Okay, it's still gonna go back. This node is a child of a container. 300 on the right, 300 on the left. This is a VBox. Inside the VBox, we have two things. Yeah, this has happened to me before, while I was streaming, of course, where things have just been stuck. And if I recreate it, we'll just recreate it. Jesus Christ. See, this is kind of weird though. Like it knows that. I mean, there's nothing in here. We do need to put something in here for the scroll thing to work. It's gonna be an VBox. Maybe we can just force it open. I don't like having to redo a bunch of shit. This one. No, we cannot force it open. The scroll things don't work unless they have something inside of them. Is it because I duplicated something? Because look at this one. It's still stuck over here, even though it's inside the right one. The joys of the Godot editor. See, now it's in the, this one's in the, I think it's just a bug. This is way darker than this one, which is crazy. Okay, so we probably actually don't need these containers over here either. We can put this. I was going container happy. You need to be out of here. So if we close this one and close this, then we go expand and expand. We're closer to the gray. I don't know what this bar at the top is though. So we can delete these guys. Why are you not expanding all the way? We got our title. We got our V-box. Why are you not expanding all of the way? I really don't want to recreate everything. Because if I drag these ones over, the bug is gonna stick. What does it say at the beginning? Center. Nothing. And this one. See, there's something else behind this, but it's this thing. But it is on fill. And this is the one where I put like 800 just to see what happened, and then reset it back. Alignment center? No. And we actually don't even need this panel container, I don't think either. Now that I think about it. Oh God. Battle log, where did this thing go? This would need to be up here. This is right. This is not expanding. It's stuck. We still have our battle log down there. Let's delete this thing. When I was thinking about the start of this stream, I was like, man, this will only take like 5 seconds. I've done so much UI stuff. And then, of course, what the fuck is holding that thing open? Or from expanding all the way? Like, I feel like it's got to be this, right? But it's not, because it would show us the outline of it. There's no weird... See, it will fill up to there. Ew, oh, maybe it's trying to put 50% of it. Maybe that's what it's doing. That's not how it's supposed to work, though. It's supposed to expand. Maybe it's trying to do 50% of it. Because, like, if we expand this one... where was I just doing that? If I do fill, it will fill to here. So that makes me think, because that looks like about 50%. It's like 50-50. If we shrink to in, though, this should come down. But it's acting like it's counting this other stuff. It would be this guy. What if What if we turn this off, add a VBox container inside this thing? You didn't come to the top like I wanted you to. Right here. And then we go to your layout. It also still only goes 50%. So I wonder why it's doing that. I wonder if there's like a checkbox or something that you gotta say. I don't remember that being ever a thing. See what it's doing? It's taking this by 50%. It's taking half of this, while it shouldn't be. It should be expanding. I wonder if this is a bug. Godot issues. Search. VBox won't expand. VBox expand. I feel like this is very zoomed in. Maybe it's fine. So how else can we do this if this is gonna dick us over here? You can't set. You could set actual sizes, I suppose, but it's still not gonna stick it to the bottom. So if we go. We turn that off. Okay, that's strange. So this what? This is this container. All right, we don't need the, oh, it's because we have 3 of them in here now. All right, that solved the problem. What the fuck? So is expanding something in the background? I don't even know what I clicked on. It was this expand. That doesn't make any sense. This has got to be a bug. All right, this is what we want though. We're gonna need. What a waste of my time. We're gonna need. We have this combatants, and then in this VBox, we're gonna have to have another label. And this is going to be, we probably already have this in here. Attackers. Okay, we don't. Word attackers. And then we're going to need word defenders. And then we're going to translate this. And somehow, I am listening to like pop punk, and I've never really been into pop punk. Whoa. Okay. So then we're going to go attackers. Attackers on the left, is that what we decided? Attackers. We'll duplicate this. We'll put it in here. And then we'll, what? Nothing is working. We need you. um, like that. Doesn't this seem like this is over? Yeah, what is this bar? This must be vertical scroll. What is this fucking bar? I thought this was like the. I thought it came with both. I might maybe thinking of Unity, and that's what this is. That looks like a scroll thing to me. Vertical should have. I don't even see our scroll bar settings. Oh, I see what I did here. I need a scroll box. Scroll container is what I need. Jesus Christ. I just put the bar in there. Um, this can go here. It will do it itself. We got our H thing. We got our scroll thing. We'll not duplicate that. We will add scroll container. Man, it's like I've never done this before. My whole game is just UI crap. All right, so we got the H box. We got this. We need you. I'm gonna take a break in a second here. We're gonna need you to expand, and then we need you to expand. Then we need you, center, expand. What? We need you. Fill. We got our scroll thing. We got our V box inside. There we go. Man, now I'm listening to something else that's terrible. We need you. I figured, you know, I was there. I figured that this was the way how weirdly the UI stuff works was because it was trying to like it was based on like web something, and uh, then I had a web guy come into chat, and he messed with it on his own, and he was like, "No, this is not how web stuff works." Defenders. Nerds title. All right, let me just rename some stuff here. Defenders. And this should be attackers. Did I put, yes, attackers over there? Did I do attackers and defenders? I did. Attackers. Defenders. There we go. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break, and I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. Man, I am definitely gonna have to pick different music when I get back because all of this sucks. I know you guys can't hear it. All right, I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. All right, I am back. Let me take my break timer off and start different music. Music sucked. That you guys can't hear. Core dump, how's it going? You don't think it's a good idea to put everything in one node? What do you mean? Death, how's it going? I am doing good. Thank you for asking. All right, now we need to test. Well, this is working with this off. We have nothing in here, but so we probably could put back that panel, I think. Yeah, we need to put back that panel that goes here. So we will add a panel container. So that we get our gray back. And then we're back to expanding stuff again here. There we go. Excuse me. Yeah, that's fine. I was thinking maybe we make these the same size, but no, I think that's gonna be fine. So then we're gonna need is we're gonna turn this. We're gonna add in a H box because you can never have enough H boxes here. And inside this H box, we're gonna need 3 labels. And so this is gonna be, what were the 3 labels? I already thought, I know the middle one's gonna be the name. Name, label, and then this one was gonna be something. I don't remember. I thought about this before I started. This one's gonna be status, like if they're dead or not. I don't remember what this one's. It will come to me eventually. This one we want to expand though. We will center it. Whoops, center it. We're going to expand this one. And when I think of what this one is, and this one we want to be expanded, but also have a minimum size, or not expanded, we just want a minimum size of, I don't know, 30? 30? 50? You know what we'll do is we will put name, and then we will put status, and actually let's go, we've got to have name in here, right? Building name, combat name. Okay, we have name in here a bunch, but no, it wouldn't be the entire cell. You know what it'd be? It would be word name. We do. So we're going to take this. And save that. I don't think we have status, but we'll search. We're down there now. For that, we don't. So we will add that in. Word status. And I think I was doing titles when they were titles, but I guess we're not doing that anymore. Guess I didn't copy that. And then we're gonna go attacker. Actually, this doesn't matter. Combatants. It's gonna be the same when we put this into both the defender and the attackers. It's the same thing, but we need to drag it down here because we're gonna change those things to our scenes. And this is definitely a UI. Combatant. Are we doing spaces in this? Doesn't look like it. HBox container. All right, because we're going to instantiate this with their actual name and their status. I cannot remember what the... Oh, I remember what it is now. It's not a label, it's an icon. We were going to do an icon for like army leaders and stuff. So that's what we were going to do. Let's open this puppy up here. I have to open you down here. Combatant. Whoops. This is all caps. H box container. All right, so we can close this other crap too right now. Yeah, we don't need this open either. So this is actually going to be a texture rec. Right here. And it's going to go up here. Hero type, I guess, is what we'll call it. And we're going to need some sort of placeholder, status placeholder thing. So I always go to this icon, this free icon thing, because it has free icons. So let's see. It's going to generally be, we're going to have like a thing that shows if it's a hero. Army leader. We already have an army leader one and a hero one. I don't know if they're small enough, but we already have those. We might have to edit them. But now we need a thing that shows like the symbol of infantry. It doesn't have to be a real one. We're gonna I kind of like the flamethrower guy. It would make no sense, but what does hero give us? We've already used a bunch of these. Bat mask. Emblem for modern superhero. Warrior. I'm kind of, yeah, let's use this sword axe thing. It will be fine. Though somewhat confusing. Let's actually look for something else. Rank was something that's set up there. It kind of goes with rank, but we would have to, there's like, it's not, they're not ranks at this point. That would be later. Actually, what about this thing? Here, this will work. We don't want to dick around with this forever. What do I have this set to? Oh, I don't think I have ink whatever installed on this. I don't have shit installed on this computer. Inkscape. Yeah, exactly. I had a question for you, Joker, but now I can't remember what it was. How's it going, by the way? The Sure, we want the viruses. We would like all the viruses, please. Sure. Good God. Yeah, I forget what I had a question for. Oh, yeah, I remember the question is. Um, I don't know if this will play right now. Oh, I have that one thing open. Got to catch all the viruses. Uh, so let's say, for example, you have this thing, right? You have this, and it has these lines on it. And let's say your text lined up with the lines, right? But you wanted it because the monitor sizes are going to change, right? So if you make it bigger, you want this to expand to be bigger. Just ignore this gray thing. Um, do you have to have like, so like for each monitor size, would you have to have a different size one of these things? It seems insane because if you stretch it, the lines are going to not line up. They're going to become, thinner, the parts between. And so if you make it bigger, it's not that big of a deal because you can leave it the same size. But if you make it smaller, you'd want to like squish it a little bit to a point. Like this thing kind of works. This is what I'm going for, but like pretty soon, because this is going to have a different piece of paper here. Like as you go, like yeah, see we've already got a problem there. So if you had a tiny little monitor like this and you had this same type of image that someone's drawn, like this is just like a thing I found like copyright free download. Um, if you squish it though, if you were to squish this thing, it would make it the lines would get all fucked up. So when you have all the different monitor sizes, how do you deal with that? Like that seems like a crazy, you would have to draw it with the computer, not with a human drawing it. Um, are we done over here? Yeah, I don't understand how it's done. There's got to be a way, or they just have it like these sets on. No, because they couldn't have. I guess they could have a different image for each of the different size, but then the whole thing would be. Why can't everybody just have the same size monitor, right? You have like yeah, well, like what about with your big long monitor? Like, is it gonna expand and then like squish everything and shrink? Uh, all right, let's do this thing. So what size do we need this to be? We have that tiny icon somewhere. I'm gonna re-import this while we're here. And then we have these tiny icons somewhere, like for the top bar. Let's put in this bolter gun. Okay, so we don't actually need to scale it right now. We can just tell it to fit. So this, we have top bar. Let's do a new folder in here, and we'll do combat. And we'll put in this achievement thing. Whoa. Oh, we gotta do this other thing though. We gotta click here first. Otherwise, Godot is gonna fuck us. Then, okay. Now, when we go back over to here, that works. Then we'll put another one of these. We could just duplicate this, honestly, and just put it in here. And then this is just, we're going to have a real artist do this stuff eventually. So now we have both of those. Let us just run this and see what it looks like. Uh, it's good enough for now. Yeah, it's good enough for now. The close button doesn't work. Somehow the close button broke during all of this. We'll figure that out eventually here. All right, so now we need to attach that script that now has the wrong name and the wrong everything. So it was called battle log something control. Did we already open that puppy up? I think we did. Let's close it. Yeah, it's right here. We're gonna rename this to margin container. And then we're going to go put you here. And then we're going to reopen you. And we're going to change you to a margin container. And then we're going to rename this to it's on my clipboard. All right. So now we have part of it ready to go. We can hide this thing. Oh, did we do our test again? Fingers crossed here. All right, that works. I kind of like this little gap. And oh, we never put in the button. So on this thing, we need a button. Set a minimum size for winner. Can you scale everything in the game? Projects. Oh, so you would scale everything. But then wouldn't it? Let's look at the project settings. I was just thinking about it because we're getting to the point where I want to start working in with an artist to improve some of the looks of things. And I was specifically thinking of the population description panel. Scale. What are we doing here? So you would adjust the scale, but then wouldn't everything be much smaller when you made the screen smaller? We're going to need inside this battle thing, we're going to need some new variables. One of them, oh, we didn't do the button. We're going to want to have a button somewhere to expand this thing. So I was thinking putting it at the top right here. I have a feeling that's going to be a pain in my ass though. Let's just add a button here. And we will see. Oh, that's a nice. It's a nice button that covers everything. Layout. Shrink center, I guess. And shrink center. And we will call this combatants. Yeah, it's kind of big. Combatants. Space button. And then this, we're going to have to put, how are we going to do this? We're going to want to put it in this thing, but between them. It's scaling the contents inside the window. And yeah, of course, things would be smaller that you would ask for a smaller defense screen. Nobody had. Yeah, I went my work got a bunch of free monitors. This was like a year ago, and I was like, "Good God, don't take the free monitors." And then this actually came up again. Somebody else offered my work free monitors, and I was like, "Stop, stop taking free monitors. The reason that they're free." So they got all these monitors that were rectangular shape, at least, but they were such a small. And I was trying to remember, but they were such a small DPI. It was it was crazy. And so now we have a bunch of those, and then the new ones they were saying that were offered, they said were the ultra wide ones, and um, I was like, "There's no way anyone's giving away a bunch of ultra wide ones," and they were like, "No, they are, they are. This company went out of business. You just got to go pick them up. That's the thing." And I was like, "Well, I would go over there first and look before you get a bunch of people to go pick up." Uh, Free supposedly ultra wide monitors, curved ultra wide. These are like $1,000 monitors at least. No, they were all busted. Only the broken ones were there. They were trash. Uh, so I actually think this is gonna work. Let's see what happens when I hide this other thing though. This needs to have a name on it. This needs to have combatants. The reason I was bringing that up though is what if people are trying to play my game at their job and they have those shitty monitors? Uh, so this one, this is perfect. This is actually going to work perfectly. This is what we want. Because this button is going to hide itself. Oof, no it isn't. Unless we put like an X somewhere. It's scaling the contents, and yeah, of course, things would be smaller. That's what you were asking for. Yeah, but like the text would also be smaller, and then you can't. It's unreadable at some point. Oh my God, we're gonna have to do like UI scaling too. I'm always turning the UI scaling up. I was playing that game that Critter recommended. Um, I forget what it's called now. Captain of Industry. And it was okay, but then I was like, I gotta figure out how to do the UI scaling. Uh, yeah, and then what about UI scaling? That would throw off all those lines. I think what we'll do is just not have lines. That's the key. Just get rid of the lines. The idea of my lines. And in fact, I don't know how I'll do it, but we'll have to work around. That's why, like, I want to go with my first idea with an artist, and then try to see if I can work with with what I get from that, and then if I can't, go about it a different way. So back to this though. I guess this button does need to be here all the time because you need to click it to turn it on and off. I'm tempted to put it like over here, but that's gonna be so fucking ugly. You know what I mean? Like having it off to the side. This closes everything. This, if it's off to the side, why don't we just go with ugly for now? Ugly and workable. So where is this title? We'll need an H box in here because why wouldn't we? H box. We'll go like this. Except we want it the other way around. And this one we want to expand, and the other one we don't. There we go. This ugly shit will work though. Okay, so let's save this. Let's throw some variables in this thing. Defender. So this one we no longer have. We're gonna have to put these. So this is, we're gonna have to rearrange this whole thing. This is fine. We have, this is for battle log. We're gonna call this one battle log, I think. And then this one we're gonna ditch. And then we're gonna have another export private combatants button. We need the button thing. We need a button here, and you can go back to not being like that. And then we're going to need export. Yeah, you know what I think I'll have to do is like set up a test Godot project that I just mess with like UI stuff. I don't know, you got any tutorials on UI stuff? UI expansion stuff? So then this is gonna be, what have I been? Oh my God, it went to the top. Jesus Christ, it went back to the top. Why? Why does it have to do this to me? This one. Okay. Oh. Probably something. How many videos you got? Good God. Of course it's back to the top. How many videos you got queued up? This one here. This should be the combatants. It's because I got rid of that panel container, actually. This panel container needs to, this is, yeah. This needs to be here. This needs to be here. This needs to be here. Then this, you motherfucker. We're back to this thing jumping to the top. We had it. It was this one that we had to fuck with, though. We had to put it shrink end. Except now we've lost this. It squished this. Motherfucker. Layout. We have you here. We have you fill. Or Jesus Christ. Today and 2 more currently. That's pretty good. Do you do them all in one day usually? Like a couple all in one day, or do you my God, we're gonna have to fuck with this all over again. Or do you do them like throughout the week, you work on a few? So this one is shrink end. Wonder what I clicked to throw this whole thing off. It's a this is expand, expand, expand. Like we're inside this other one. Let's go back to the top. You cannot be this way. We need you to fill. But we need you. It's this it needs. We need this to stick to the bottom. We'll put this on the here again. But I don't think that's going to do it. No. Man, what the hell did I change? It took me like 30 minutes to get that thing to stick to the bottom. That's when I put this thing in here. Well, this button's in a weird. It's not centered. Mouse left. Oh, yeah, I was talking with Critter one day, and I couldn't remember where this stuff was, and we were trying to find the signals. What exciting stuff do you have planned? Do you have done? Um, I don't really care that much about this not being centered, but it would be nice if it was centered. I'm getting that. Oh, you know, I think no, it is not centered. Center. There's no icon. I already clicked these. Oh, good God, no. Maybe we're just stuck with it like that. It's like I said, this is all just temporary stuff. Maybe I didn't say that. Not today. Have you checked out that game that Critter was talking about? A little more advanced on the editor commands. Next week, over how to make the new toggleable sections, and the week after that is the binary stuff. Binary. All right, let's turn this off. Let's mess with this thing again. So this isn't going to do anything. We were messing with this. Like that. But then when we turn this on, we're getting squished. So something in here needs to be on expand, but it is. Whoops, this has to be open. Center. Nope, I thought we were on this. Oh, that's just the label. We do not want the label to expand. You're on expand. Like it should. Fill. Here we go. Nope. Label we can't do. This could be it. Nope. Not the label. The other one should have pushed it open. Okay, so nothing in here is doing. So let's see this thing, if we shrink to end, let's fill this again. I don't think that's what we want. What did I click on over here? This thing was on expand. We don't want that to expand. We don't want that to expand. So this thing, I think, did I put it center or something? That's right. We want you to be top. Shrink to beginning? No. Fill. You need... Jesus fucking Christ, dude. This thing has this. This, our scroll container, it's there, it's invisible. Word attacker is still in there. Shrink center. We do want that one, shrink center. Why are you invisible now? Everything's... Jesus Christ. Vertical, we don't want it to expand, though. This, we don't... we have shrink beginning. Let's go back up to the top every single fucking time. It was because I put in this panel, but we need the panel for the grayness. The panel container. I guess we don't. It could just be a panel. So that works. Combatants title works, and it's here that this thing is not expanding. This is an HBox container. And we need the HBox container because we have two sides. And so then this thing, we do want it to expand right and left because that's what controls these things. They 50-50 it. And so this one is going to have all of our things. All of our heroes in there. Like I said, I was not expecting this to take so long because I've done so much UI shit that I have done like this 100 times at this point, and I don't know why today it's just fucking with me. It's just fucking with me. So this VBox container has this HBox container, which is what we want. And then we have our scroll thing is not filling. And is that because, no, what is the thing that this, yeah, so this HBox container is not expanding correctly. So what did we do to cause that to not expand correctly? Everything is visible right now. The panel is there. The VBox. Oh, wait, this is inside? No, that's right. This HBox is not expanding. Why not? It's on expand. Is it inside the wrong thing? No. We have 3 things that should be in here. Now we have 2 things that should be in here. Just these 2. We got our scroll thing, and this is acting like it's expanded. Why the fuck did this go away? Because there's 2 of them in here. Is there something on top of it? Oh, my music just suddenly stopped. Just out of the blue. We have this other battle control that we can get rid of. That was the old thing that we've now replaced with this margin container. All right, we're back to this just clicking on shit endlessly. And that still doesn't stick it to the bottom. And if we go fill, it puts this here. So our panel container is big enough, but this is squishing those. I feel like it should not. These should be holding it open. I found something interesting. Can't remember the school, but it was mentioning Godot's. Not super strange, but I didn't see any game dev to mention the page. But it said, "Oh, that is kind of interesting. Like it was a UI thing, like a UI class, but it used Godot." All right, let's go through this one more fucking time. We got our margin container. This VBox is for these 2 different boxes, and I put in. Is this other box inside here? No, it is there both inside this VBox thing. And if we go shrink end, and we turn off this one, it works. It was basically when we added the button that things went south. But if we turn this on, because we want this to be stuck to the... You know, I think I vaguely remember something else talking about Godot UI things. Maybe I saw the same thing you were talking about, and I thought it was interesting as well. Um, it's kind of interesting that I've used the word interesting like 6 times. It's kind of interesting that how Godot is perceived, and then how people in the industry, like that one ad that I put where they just kind of like threw Godot, the word Godot in there. Um, and you know, they just threw every engine they could think of in there. Um, okay, so when this thing is visible, we need it to expand to the top, even though we're doing shrink to end. It should. We need to put, I guess we could manually make it that size, but once again, we're back to the problem with screens being different sizes. So this one is shrink. What if we put you on fill? It does jack shit. I wonder if we put a panel in there instead of a panel container, what would happen? Let's add a panel. And then come up here, panel. You're going to go right here, panel. And we're just going to test with you. Can we expand you out? No. Okay, so we have to fill. We have to put this on fill. Fill. This has to be on fill. Regardless of this panel is not going to do shit. So let's delete this panel. I mean, we could just not have, we could just fill this whole thing up. I was hoping, though, to have it so that they could look at where the combat was. But maybe I don't care that much. Maybe just give up and move on to the next thing. Like I said, I had in my mind, and it's because I had it in my mind, I was like, this will take like 30 minutes probably to set this up, because I've done so many of these. But you know what I should have done is just started from scratch, because every time I try to modify an old one, shit just starts breaking, and I cannot ever figure it out, and I end up just starting from scratch anyways. So this should be at the top, but see, if I go to the top, it goes away, because fuck me, fuck you, Josh, is the reason why. And then we can't see the label. It's gone. Even though the label's there, it's just gone. We do need a panel container, though, to make that gray. Always a lot for at least twice the time. Yeah, I should quadruple the time. Okay, we have our V-box, which has our 2 different panels in it. We have a panel there. We have a panel here. That's exactly how that's supposed to work. Then we have this thing. It's set to fill this up. And then we have this. And this is fill. Then we have this H-box container, which we need it because we have 2. We have shrink to beginning. We'll put fill. Okay, that is correct. And we can tell because of the lines. Then this thing is correct as well, but we need to move this text to the top. So this V-box must have some sort of... There we go. The V-box, we don't want it on an expand because it will expand as the scroll thing. The scroll thing controls the V-box thing. So we turn that off. We're back to here. Now if we turn this off, that thing goes to the top. So let's go back. But we can't force this to the bottom without fucking with this thing. And we can't. How do we anchor this thing to the bottom? I want to anchor you to the bottom, you piece of shit. I want just you. There's no anchor button. I want you to anchor to the bottom. Um, and this is right because it's going to expand as we put shit in there. Close button. We got some error for some reason on the close. Oh, there's probably these buttons or these things are broken. So how do we anchor you to the bottom? Get to the bottom. Is there any layout? So if we put you to like shrink to end, it does not do what we want it to. No, because it's this other thing is what's controlling it. This thing, can you put an anchor on this thing? No. So if we go back to shrink to end, it goes down there, but then this squishes everything else. So we can't do that. We have to have this do fill. What the flying fuck? I mean, I guess we can have the battle log at the top. Just give up. Fuck it. It will be at the top. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Just anything to get past this. I kind of liked it at the bottom, though. Oh, we're going to have a bunch of shit at the top, too. Later. There's no way to anchor this to the bottom. Ordering? No, no. Jesus Christ, there's auto-tune on this pop punk song. Get the fuck out of here with your auto-tune. I had to change my music because of that. All right. So what does this button do? Skeleton, view, grid. Well, that doesn't help us. I was hoping there is an anchor button, but it's not for this. Yeah, see, it's like on this. When active, moving control nodes changes their anchors instead of their offsets. What the fuck does that mean? So what if we put you at the bottom? Okay, we change the whole thing we change, but then when we open this, what happens? It's squished. Did we fix our squish issue before? This is our margin control. We had that going like that before. Yeah, we also want this to be able to run while the game's playing, and so it's kind of weird. I guess it's not that weird. We could just leave it so it's forced. It's forced. That works there. I was deep in thought there, and I don't think so. Once again, if we close this thing, that goes to the top, but we can't put it at the bottom because you can't anchor it to the bottom. Position, you can probably with code or something force it down there. Do some math and force it to the bottom. But I feel like you should be able to do it here. That just makes it big. And that doesn't solve our problem. Inherited? None of this does well. Oh, I see. Yeah. So the only thing that will force this to the bottom is if we change it here, but then the other thing won't force itself open. So we do that. this will not make it big enough unless we like put in some minimum thing. Let's say we put in whatever. What was that? What was that other box? So we could put in a minimum, but if you made your screen smaller, it's gonna fuck everything up. It's the only way because this expand does not actually expand, even though there's stuff in here. I mean, it works for this though. It feels like this should expand it out. And this is the one that was making it all fucked up. Yeah, because this has the scroll container. Wonder if there's like... Definitely want to clip contents. Follow your focus. Oh, this is the thing I was looking for earlier and I couldn't find because I had the wrong node in there. I wonder if we put like a panel container inside here, and we put a panel container inside here, and then we do, I think I already tried this. Nothing. Oh, it's mad because there's two. What if we say Google Godot force a scroll panel or a scroll container to expand? Yeah, no. $10 ago, that's not that long. Yeah, you need to see. So I was about to say, well, we'll just leave it open, but you need to be able to see the map because other heroes and stuff might be moving to that location. And it'd be something that you would just check now and then. I guess we could just leave it at the top for now, since this is just a time suck of unimaginable proportions. Set a minimum customs. Yeah, I mean, we could also do set the minimum. We just do the math on the minimum size. Where does that panel container that I stuck in here for no apparent reason? You'll go back to here. You'll be deleted. I guess we'll just do that. I really don't, because when the size changes. So we'll do it here, and I'm just gonna put in like whatever 700 for now. Yeah, so that is gonna be the right thing, the right amount. We can get the actual amount if we go fill, then we go 744 is what we want. Then we put you back to shrink end, and then we go 744. Whoops. Wait, what? Well, this is where it should be, I believe, anyways. And then this we'll put back, and then we'll test. What is this fucking thing? It goes away when I hover over it. Man, there's got to be a way to do that. There's got to be a way to anchor this down there. Godot anchor node. I want to know, like, is there an anchor node? We could also go like this. Uh, add anchor. Well, there's some sort of anchor. Hmm. All right. Well, this is the way we'll do it. I don't like it because we're just setting ourselves up for failure for later when we change the size of the whatchamacallit, the window. I mean, we can test it, right? Well, we got a private thing in here. This is gonna be, so we need two, we need one. What was that thing? It was a panel container, or was it a, we're turning this one off. Yeah, so here's that weird thing again. It's a panel container. And I'm gonna take a break in a second here. This is gonna be the combatants. Oh, it actually did it for me there. Combatants panel container. Then let's see. Oh, Jesus Christ. I thought I renamed you. Add log. This is, I thought I renamed it with rename. Battle log. This is gonna get all fucked up, but whoa. We'll fix it. One of these is, I think the defense one was commented out or something. All right. I just want to see this on the screen. I'll show what I'm talking about. Why I didn't want to do it that way. Then I'm gonna. So if you like make your screen smaller, now it's stuck. No, it's not stuck. No, it is. It's not. See, it works. This is the way I want it. See how when you go this way, it makes it smaller. But if we go this way, it doesn't make it smaller. So if you had a smaller screen, you're fucked. The game breaks. And if you have a bigger screen, it looks terrible. There's got to be a way to do that. Anyways, I'm going to go take a quick break. I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Let me throw my break timer. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, I am back, and as they say in the IT world, not in my IT world, but in an IT world, uh, I kicked it up to the C-suite and had them make a decision. The C-suite is me. We're just gonna have this panel expand. We're gonna show the whole thing all the time. You can see this shit going on in the background. It's good enough for now. I've wasted so much time on this, just getting the panel to fucking expand. Like literally, I was thinking about it, like I was talking earlier about, hiring someone. They, let's say I'm paying $50 an hour. They just have wasted $100, really doing nothing, basically nothing. And it just, this is one of those things that is a Godot issue. It's just the UI, the UI. And at the beginning I thought it was just me, but I've watched other people too, and it's always some fucking around that they got to do. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back. Like you gain experience, obviously, but it's just we're just gonna fill. We're gonna get rid of this thing, and then we're gonna test closing and opening here. We'll just cover the whole thing. That's how we'll do it. Who gives a fuck, right? I wanted to be able to turn off this, but I guess not. So we're gonna need to change our programming here. So we don't actually need this part. We need another VBox though. So we're gonna need two of them. Crystal, how's it going? Yeah, it's the UI is definitely how it works is quite strange. There's no maximum size either, which I think is strange. Um, but there is a minimum size. I don't know. The whole thing is very. It's so many boxes and whoops, and it crashed. I think I hit. I don't know. I was moving my mouse and I think I hit a button. Maybe. Is there a special close Godot button? Um, I was jumping in your chat the other day, Crystal, right when you were leaving, so I didn't say anything. Um, oh, uh, let's see. Where are we at here? Yeah, I mean it's Joker. He's always trolling. He's like 90% troll, 86% troll. So you get used to you get used to it. You just have to ignore the 80% of the trollness. Okay, so we're just gonna be stuck with this. Um, I was watching this other stream where Joker was in chat, and I was just waiting for them to ban him because he was trolling hard. He was going hardcore. Okay, so this is, well, you can see through the panel, and you'll be able to see people moving in there if you want. Joker was trolling. Joker was trolling the person. The person was putting up with his trolliness. Okay, so we're gonna need a variable. I wonder is there a button on my mouse that closes Godot? It doesn't seem like it. It just crashed for no apparent reason. Okay, so let's go over here. So this is gonna now be, we need to be adding to the attacker VBox. We need an attacker VBox. And then we need a defender VBox. Oh, I put the wrong thing down here. That's okay. Oh my God, now what the fuck am I listening to? I'm just getting the worst music today. It's like really terrible pop punk. I know you guys can't hear it. All right, so we have the combatants panel container. We don't need any more. We do need this is the thing that's airing out. It's down here. We're going to want to have, I thought I closed the, oh, right, it crashed. It crashed when I did that. The log, log scroll, log VBox container is what we need. This is above that, so we'll do this. Private VBox, fingers, log VBox container. And then this, all of these things is where we got issues. I don't know what the every other thing is. Are we color coding them or something? We should just be barfing them in there, I think. You know, you kicked it with Titties LLM last week. Yeah, is that her name? Yeah, we're making them every other different color is what's going on there. Dodger blue. How did it go? Did you come back head spinning with new AI inspirations? Okay, so we need to build this thing and then put these things where they go. And let's see. Combat log scene. Oh, we need a combatant scene. You did you get the guess? Combatant scene. And then we'll put this above this combat. I'm just gonna call it, nah, I guess it's combat log. Sure. And then we'll build it one more time here because we need both these scenes because we're gonna instantiate a bunch of shit. You need to, I know that feel like sometimes, many times, typing in stuff is not the best way to communicate, especially if you want, like, you got to put the tone of your voice. Otherwise, it can be misconstrued what you're saying quite often. So whoops, not prefab, scenes. And I, all the time, I'll like, someone will text me and I'll start typing and I'll be like, Jesus Christ, this is going to be like 3 fucking paragraphs. I'll have to send each paragraph on its own and then the person's got to read it. And then I'll just be like, no. Combatants, HBox. There we go. I guess. Then we need the battle log title. I guess we're doing something to the battle log title, eh? Probably we're set to saying what county it's in, I would guess. If we're going to leave this up now, I think this should be at the top. And this should be at the bottom. Jesus Christ. This whole thing, what a waste of time. We'll put this at the top and we'll have the combatants. Jesus, fuck. Okay. Luckily that was an easy fix. Then we do the attacker V box, which is now down here. We're going to put you in there, and then we're going to do a defender V box, and then we're going to do the log. See, these should be at the top now. We don't need this button because we're not using it anymore, though I'm going to leave it there just in case. Then we need the log VBox container. All right, let's play this and see what happens. Good times are good, right? Oh, we gotta move the close button though. The close button we need to put down at the bottom, but we'll have to decide what we're gonna do with zooming because we need the scroll wheel to work. Look how close this is to the edge. We need the scroll wheel to work on here, but at the same time, I want people to be able to move around. So you wouldn't be able to scroll because these are gonna you're gonna need to scroll through this crap. But if you moved your mouse over here, but see, there's gonna be things over here. UI is a pain in my ass, just in general. There was someone who was talking about, like having no UI in their game, and I was kind of like, yeah, good luck with that. And they used whatchamacallit, black and white as their example. And that is a pretty awesome example. But it wouldn't work with my game, but now I just wish it would work. I wish that we could have no UI. I would have no game, but it sure would be nice. All right, I think that fixes that. We don't have the signals are fucked up. So and I don't do signals this way anymore. So we will fix that. We need a close button on here. Maybe I'll ditch this just for less confusion later. Private button, close button. I guess one space is fine. Where's our ready? Why are you down here? So on ready, we're going to connect signals. I used to get all demoralized when I wasted a bunch of time fucking around with something and not having it work. But now I don't because I've seen this happens to everybody. Once again, back to paying someone too. The problem if I hire someone to help me and they're stuck, it's not their fault. I mean, it is their fault. They should know all problems. Close button dot pressed. Yes, do the me thing and make a dedicated connected function. Is this what you do? Because this is mine. Maybe that is the way. Maybe I learned it from you. I can blame you when it doesn't work. Close. Battle. Log. Oh, I vaguely remember this now, and I thought it was going to be hugely painful. I totally remember that, but it's not at all. It's literally this is it. this is it. It's been connected now, and it even like when you go to here, it gives you the little lightning bolt that this is a event. I've just started putting all my signals in a connected signals function, so I don't have a giant block and ready. Oh yeah, because so I used to have. I think I still have that in some places where it's just a bunch of these like. But yeah, I now put it in this. I'm trying to keep ready kind of cleaner because sometimes it gets a lot of stuff going on there. And this is the only signal that we do, and so we can just like hide this. Oh, if I could type fingers. And then we're gonna have another thing though. We're gonna have another thing in here. So other things control this add log. Oh, we had the signal is connected to this. Let's get rid of this thing before we have all sorts of. Oh, I guess I already did. This I'm assuming is going to globals. Um, the fingers just never work as good as they should. Like I notice sometimes, like I'll be typing so fast, so perfectly, and then like 5 minutes later, I can't type at all, and I'll be like, what has changed? I'll be like typing and looking at something else and reading something else that's not, and it will come out fine. Then other times I'll start typing what someone else is saying in another room or something. Um, all right, so this is good. We're gonna have to fix the moving into this, but that will be another thing. So on visibility change, we're going to, if it's visible, generate combatants. Looking at how much time we have here. So this is going to generate a list of combatants where we're going to instantiate a symbol. We're going to need the symbols, which I don't think we have them saved anywhere. Oh, like not pushing it down enough. I had a coworker that always needed new keyboards because everything was all worn as shit. And she had those crazy long fingernails, and she would type with her. I mean, obviously you had no choice, but I feel like that would make your fingers feel funny hitting with the fingernails after a while, like with a big long, like literally like that long. Um, okay, so we're gonna need to. When this opens, the only way you can get to this is by clicking on. Let's hide this. And let's create a war here. Yeah, I tried it well. I guess that's not true. I try to keep my fingernails short, but I feel like I'm constantly cutting my fingernails. We're going to declare war on this guy. And, we got a bug. What's your problem now? Oh. You're doing that when you're closed? Okay. We tried to connect the signal already there, and we don't have this in here. We can continue with what we were doing, though. I don't think it matters. It won't work. The closing won't work, but we declared war on this guy. He's been instantiated. Okay, so the only way you can get to that is by clicking on this. But I renamed it, so we need to find where this thing is. This is part of each county. How did I do this before? We must have had a instance in the county code. Jesus Christ, it's more bad music. What is going on today? Let's see. Oh, like this. Here's an example of that right there. Yeah, clear prioritized list. This is when we click that thing, I think I have to look at one. It's buried. It might actually have its own script, which would be fine. Is Critter streaming right now? I also tried to watch him the other day. I wanted to tell him about the video game he suggested. But then I just didn't have time for that shit. I don't know. I was playing a video game or something. Battle Control. This is the one where we gotta have what is this thing? Is this a button? How does clicking on this battle button? We have a signal in here that goes button up. What? This is some old ass code. You know what really frustrates me these days is, I don't know, you Google something and you go, oh, I want to click on this, but then oh, it's not going to do it now. Okay, so it will do it. So what happens a lot of times, I'll be like, oh, this is what I want. And then I change my mind. Right after I click, I change my mind. And so I hold it down, and you used to be able to not let the button up. If you didn't let the button up on your text, it wouldn't go in there, right? So if you click on a thing on Google, whatever, anywhere in the world, and you didn't let your mouse up, it doesn't actually select the item. But now if you do that, it goes to this stupid thing. And I'm sure you can turn it off, but I don't want to. Why did they change the internet? Why do they have to change the internet to just blast me with shit that I don't want? Just no. Yeah, happens to me all the time. I hate it. I'm getting old and I'm becoming the person who shouts at clouds or whatever. Anyways, it looks like we have some sort of button it's called button up. Okay, so on button up, it goes battle log control show, which is now this thing. But we have an instance of this. Why are we doing it that other way? I think the idea was, I think the idea with this was that we'd have a centralized location of finding these things. I don't think we need that anymore, though. We'll go, oh, it could also be order. Maybe it couldn't find this. Maybe there was an order of method or whatever the fucking shit it's called. I don't like that this is called button up, but we're going to leave it like that. We're not going to fix that. Start again. Load. Click. We don't need to click there. We do need to click there. We need to click here. We need to declare war. We need to close that. We need to go over. We need to move you. Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about the token thing too. And it has to be clickable and show the one below it. I don't think there's any other way to do it. Or the other solution is do it like CK3 or whatever, where they all stack up. They just sit here, and then when the move timer is done, they teleport over. Okay. Okay, so here we are. We don't have, oh, we got like a ton of bugs opening that thing up. Oh, we have a problem with the tooltip again. And I think that happened at the end of the stream. Yeah, it's the same error. And I just ended the stream anyways. And it was on the list to work on today, but obviously we got our own problems with that not working. This close button does work. I mean, with everything, with all of our issues. Okay, so first off, was I able to pause it so quickly that we didn't get a battle log? Or is shit broken? Okay, so shit is broken. So we should be... I wonder if there's like hidden things in here. Let's see. Battle log here. Log. Did I put the wrong thing in? There's nothing inside here. So what did I drag over? I don't see any other like garbage. I don't think we're instantiating anything. So let's go back and look at what we broke here. I did do, this is next. So add log. Attacker is false. Are we using this attacker thing anymore? I don't think we are. This is a different thing that also has a defending thing in it. So this is attacker false, attacker false. I have a feeling that we got rid of the attacker false thing. So this is the putting in the text comes through the log. We instantiate a combat log scene. We're moving a child to 0. Oh, that's putting it at the top. We're instantiating a combat log scene, which we have in there. We're casting it as a combat log. It becomes text panel. Why did I do it this way? It becomes text panel. We don't need this anymore. I'm 90% positive. We just add the log in. Oh, but then we needed a different color. Was this color shit even working? I don't remember this color works. I don't remember any. We'll rewrite all of this. It's all dog shit anyways. We're going to keep some of this color here because I want it. You know, this thing is next line odd. Are we using that anywhere? This whole thing's all fucked up. Because I had 2 different things, and before I just like hid one. Once we got rid of 2 of them. Add theme color override. So what we really want to do, are we switching this? Is next log odd. Start with, is next, I guess the next log. So we would do, if, do this. So this would make them different colors, odd or even, and it wouldn't matter if they're attacking or whatever. I wonder if, because nothing showed up in the battle log there. Test that the timestamp works. We never tested that the time. I've seen the timestamp like 40 times. Max lines. Okay, we have a. This is probably set. I'm gonna get rid of this, so it's not an export, and we're gonna set it to whatever 20. And we probably, no, it was that true or false thing, I think, that was throwing it off. The thing for the, we actually should have some errors. This should just put in the final battle log, combat log, battle log, margin container instance, add log. Oh, that was it. All right, let's see what are other problems here, because we're missing some stuff. I don't think that divide by 0 shit should matter, but maybe it is. Maybe it does. I don't think anything we did mattered, right, for that. But we'll see. And then I'm trying not. Oh, I did it. I was trying not to hover over this so we don't get this error, but he's going to come down here. And I think we should have. Okay. So it looks like we're getting all red. Oh, wow. That was a quick battle. Dude, what happened? It's just over. That's a different issue. We have so many issues. There's going to be some terror shit out. What we need in here then. We're deleting some shit there. We're deleting something there. Oh, I didn't check the one thing. I think we have if the person dies, we don't have it do anything just yet. We were gonna work on that, but then I decided I want to list the combatants. So at the end of this, we can just go in next log. Can't you just go like? Can you just put like a home like this? Can't you just do that? Can you just do that? No. We gotta go. It's gonna equal that. And it's because it needs to be the opposite every time. We had another one in there too. That error is now annoying me, so we'll probably have to tomorrow. That might be the first thing we do is fix that. Man, I had such big plans, and even when I was making the plans, I was like, "This is too many plans." But okay, so I just wanted them a different color because it's kind of a wall of dog shit, you know. Okay, can we scroll? No. So this is back to another thing that we will fix. So this is right. The color coding is just to help distinguish between nothing. It's just that there's different logs. So this is the issue with the scrolling. I want the scroll thing to work, but then you can't scroll on the map. I guess if you were to move it over here, you could scroll on the map, or over here, but this will fill up with stuff. So basically when the combat log is open, you won't be able to scroll, but you will be able to move around the map. The reason why well, it's kind of hard to see this other shit. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe I'm overthinking this. But I want you to be able to like sit here and watch combat as like you're waiting for, like let's say your reinforcements are coming. That was the whole reason why to not have this cover the whole screen. But I guess we'll just deal with all that shit. All of the problems I'm building up. Sometimes it is tempting to start over. Right? Developer overthinking? Right? I'm just gonna let this run. Okay, so that time he ran off, he didn't get killed is the thing. I think when they die, we haven't finished that. His name is Gary Cooper. Okay. All right, so this log part works. Now we have to do instantiate the combatants. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to clear combatants. We're going to have to update these combatants all the time too. Okay, so this is going to be a little more complicated than, because when they die and whatnot. But we're going to want to clear the combatants. I wonder, we'll recreate this every single time, every single hour. We'll recreate this. Because why the fuck not? Let's just have like some kind of crazy inefficient way to do things. This is called the combat attacker VBox container and the defender VBox container. So first thing, we could pass in a VBox container, I suppose. VBox container. VBox. I don't want this null shit. Why are you doing that lately? Okay, for each. What are they? They're labels? No, they're like HBoxes. HBox container. HBox container. In VBox container, get children. Skip 1. We're going to skip the top one. We're going to HBox container Q free. And then we'll do this up here. What did I call these things? Attacker and a defender. Attacker, and then we'll clear. Yep. Man, before, you probably want to be cast or some shit. Get the fuck out of here. You want to do like a cast something. It was right there. Man, before auto complete must have been hellish. All right, so this will clear the combatants. We'll do that twice. Then we're going to need to create the combatants. And at this point, we do have a battle. So there is a battle. Does this thing know the battle? It does not seem like it knows what battle it's in. So when we click on that, we should probably pass in the battle. Is that what we want to do? How would we know what battle to get it from, possibly? I don't think we would know. So we need to have a public battle called battle. And then when we click on this thing from our battle control, that button up thing, we're going to assign battle log margin container instance dot battle equals battle. We don't have a fucking battle in here. Get the fuck out of here. I was positive we had a battle. This thing has all sorts of shit. It's right there. Why can't I? Do I have to do this dot? Oh, this is static is the problem. Fucking static, man. At least I know to look. Yeah, imagine, yeah, there we go. Imagine back in the day when you had to type all that shit out by hand. There's that picture of that woman who like read through, I forget what, I'll look it up. It's like a famous programmer woman, woman. It was like, who double checked code for NASA. This lady, she had to read through all that shit. Like on a piece of paper. Like, oh my God. She's probably autistic, you know, like one of those people who can just like crazy get into something and just stare at something and then look for like missing semicolons or whatever. What language was this even in? It was probably in like COBOL or some shit. Does it say what language it was? She was hired in 1953 as a human computer. Wait, is she the one who wrote that code? No, the woman who double-checked code for NASA is the famous Katherine Johnson. Yeah. Was it assembly? That would make sense. Yeah, assembly would definitely make sense because you can get the best bang for your buck. You were talking about the bloated. Joker posted like a video about bloated video games these days, and it's like it is out of control. But like people have been complaining about that forever. But imagine, if they the bloat for that they're gotta put a 5090 in that rocket so that it can run its launch stuff. If they're using any engine. Um, okay, so we button up. Sure. It's going to show, it's going to set this battle to battle. I'm running out of time. It's like so much wasted time. Okay, so the battle thing has 2 armies in it. And so each army, we're going to instantiate we're going to create combatants. Well, for each population data, and this thing gets sorted in battle dot attacking army create combatants without. I guess we need to pass in this population data, and then in here we're going to wrong line. Fortran programming language to perform calculations for NASA. She learned the language and taught it to her team as NASA transitions to machine calculations, becoming an expert on the IBM 7090. This move is crucial for the space program, was a key part of her career at NASA. What does Fortran look like? What does Fortran look like? Let's see. I want more. What the fuck is that? Let's look at the wiki. Initial release. Oh, it's punch cards. My stepdad said that, and when he was required to take a programming class in college, and he said they use punch cards. What the fuck is this? Fortran coding form. Variable map. Name, its address. Are they talking about the address on the actual fucking memory? Good God. Dummy arg. It's a real. It's an integer. This shit isn't even lined up. That's that poor woman. That poor woman. What the fuck is this? And so after you've read through that stack, you probably got to go through it again because you probably missed some stuff. Introduction to the coding club. Come on. I want to see. I don't want to look at this actually. that killed my interest in it. All right. Let's see here. We're running out of time too. Right? Yeah, and I assume there's a way to clear it then pass it through again. But where would you know what went wrong? How does it print out its error code? You know, when a computer, if you turn on a computer and there's something seriously wrong with it, it starts beeping and shit. I wonder if it was like that, where you run through and it gives you like 6 different beeps to try to like, one beep means that this thing is a problem. 2 beeps means that it's this other part is a problem, and that's how you would narrow it down. Um, or if it printed out something. Create combat. So we need a HBox container called combatant. And we're going to go equals an HBox container, because why would it know that this is what I wanted? And we're going to go combatant scene dot instantiate. And then we have our combatant. Yep. Oh, yep. We want this to be added as a child. But before I guess afterwards. We're going to need to put some code on here, on this thing. I don't have time for that shit, though. All right, let's save this. Let's push this absolute waste of time that we did today. Set up a combatant panel. Shit took forever. We're going to mark all of these. Mark these. Get in there. What was that thing? I wonder if Crystal's streaming. I've not rated him in a long time. Let's take a look. We will rate him. Population data is never used. All right, let's look at our Twitch over here. Let's go raid a channel. Following. I guess Crystal isn't. I just assumed for some reason Crystal would be streaming right now. All right. I guess not. We will raid Critter, I guess. All right, we're gonna raid Critter. Thank you guys for joining me. I will talk to you tomorrow. Hopefully, we will accomplish more, not less, than we did today. So anyway, I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a good. Oh, right, I gotta click the start raid button. I always assume when you click the start raid button, it would start the raid, but it doesn't actually. What it does is it starts counting down, which is, yeah. So now the countdown has stopped, and now, goodbye.